Hello, my name is Alexandra Cox. I've been a professional translator since the early 2000s, and I began specialising in art exhibition catalogues, artist monographs, photo books, festival publications and the like in about 2010, 2011, and I gained a Master of Arts in Art History in 2015. I'm recording this from a hotel room in Hamburg because yesterday I visited the exhibition Cocktail Prolongé FC Gundlach Special at the Deichtorhallen because I translated the catalogue into English. I have the catalogue here with the cover slightly censored because my initial post on LinkedIn was deleted because it was too explicit or something. But you can easily find the exhibition catalogue online. It's published by Kehrer Verlag, and I'd like to read some extracts from this catalogue for you today. So, here are some abridged extracts from the contribution in the catalogue by Jana Johanna Haeckel, which is called Between Staging and Documentation. Body, Affect and Ambiguity in the SC Gundlach Collection. The approximately 300 works by 68 international artists brought together in Cocktail Prolongé trace a temporal arc from the late 19th century through to current works. Various genres, from portrait and self-portrait through to reportage and mugshots, are included alongside a variety of narrative strategies that extend from documentary narrative forms through to conceptual and research-based approaches. This historical, material and aesthetic range forms the framework for a central curatorial question. How is the person made visible in the medium of photography? And what forms of representation, physicality, desire and power are negotiated, reproduced, or critically questioned along the way? Cocktail Prolongé negotiates the photographed body as a medium of social attribution and legibility. Among the central classics of portrait photography, there are 5 works by August Sander, 1876 to 1964. Formally, Sander's shots of people in their professional or social environment are based on the aesthetic of contemporary studio photography. The focus is not so much on the individual portrait as on the depiction of a super-individual social type. Sander turns his models into representatives of their respective professional or social status by means of serial, categorizing presentation. The persons portrayed look directly into the camera and in doing so establish a conscious, almost confrontational relationship between photographer and subject. This way of proceeding locates Sander firmly in the tradition of the new objectivity, in which photographs are characterized by precise sharpness, clear contrasts, and dispensing with softening effects. Simultaneously, he assumes a position against the subjectivizing and idealizing pictorial language of turn-of-the-century currents of artistic photography, and pursues instead the ambitious project of a photographic societal panorama. One photographic approach that continues this balancing act between typology and individual presence can also be found in the oeuvre of the Dutch photographer Rineke Dijkstra, born 1959. As with Sander, the persons portrayed look directly into the camera. At the same time, though, Dijkstra withdraws their bodies from any narrative framing and social attribution, since they are depicted against a consistently identical background. Clothing, pose, and surroundings seem reduced, as a result of which the gaze is directed onto a fragile space of physical and mental self-assurance. Dijkstra's photographs therefore oscillate between documentary sobriety and intense psychological presence. The ostensibly objective pictorial language, characterized by natural light, a quiet composition, and dispensing with dramatizing effects, lays bare the uncertainty and vulnerability of the depicted bodies during the transition from childhood to adulthood. Here, at variance with Sander, the type is not socially but existentially comprehended as a moment of the in-between in which identity is still forming and the body becomes a theatre of inner processes. Within Cocktail Prolongé, Dijkstra's works thus represent a contemporary example of the portrait tradition in which the image of humanity shifts from social ordering towards an introspective, physically experienceable self-perception. This introspective understanding of the portrait stands in marked contrast to the works of the American photographer Diane Arbus, 1923 to 1971. She is represented in the exhibition with a total of 6 portraits. Her photographs often depict outsiders who were marginalized from American society or perceived as not fitting in, and fundamentally call into question the notion of an objectivizing, aloof portrait. In her photographs, she frequently combines daylight with flash, generating a tension-filled proximity, characterized by intimacy and unease in equal measure. Within F.C. Gundlach's collection, Arbus's works hence mark an ambivalent opposite pole to Sanders and Dijkstra's understanding of the portrait. They dispense with classification in favour of immediacy. The majority of the photographs presented in Cocktail Prolongé are anything but easily consumable party finger food. The exhibited works radically contradict the aesthetic of F.C. Gundlach's fashion photographs, which focused on perfection, elegance, and sales logic. Instead, they formulate a clear counter-thesis to the idealized world of glamour of the post-war period, in which F.C. Gundlach played a considerable part in his commercial work. Due to their visual complexity and occasionally provocative subjects, the photographs refuse quick consumption and confront the viewer with questions concerning projection, voyeurism, fantasy, and desire, and hence those mechanisms that structure and at the same time morally enmesh our seeing.